next to nothing. And I'm going to show you now, right now. So let's get warmed up, and then I'll go through the details with you. Okay. Jumping on the small legs, head nice and loose. Just a stretch. Forward, 10 front lunge, to rotation, last one for your warm-up. Isometric, 15-minute intervals, 3 rounds, minute active rest. I mean, by an active rest, it's a rest from what we're doing, but your body itself isn't resting. Then we repeat for a second round, then we move on. So, for instance, our first one, squats. Can't get any more fundamental than that. So we're doing 15 seconds, isotonic contraction, regular contraction, so a regular body weight squat. Lead with that knee movement first, over the toes, knees go apart, create space for your hips to sit into that gap. Okay, there you go. Head and chest high. When I say hold, or when you hear the bell, you hold at that hardest point, at 90 degrees. Okay, keeping your head and chest high. Okay, your femur parallel to the floor. Okay, and you back up again. Moving for 15 seconds. Hold for 15 seconds. 3 rounds. Seamless, if you can. Without sort of pausing. Harder than it sounds, trust me. Our active rest for this one, mountain climbers. So you're doing mini mountain climbers, which is really actually much more anterior chain and abs. So you're going to be there. Shoulders over your fingertips, drive the knees in for a minute. Okay, and then breathe again. Part 2, same again. Move, hold, move, hold, move, hold. Active rest again, and then move on. Okay, that's it. You'll get the picture after this first round. Okay, so the good thing is about these isometric holds, they get you very good at doing the movement that you're doing. So isometric squats, because you're holding at the hardest point, gets you very good at doing isometric, doing squats, because you're thinking about that movement. Okay, so when you're there, think about bracing the core, keeping your spine nice and upright, head and chest high, engage the glutes. Okay, and think about all these things. And it's like just rewiring your brain to do it properly. We're going to be doing press-ups, same thing. Lunges, lateral raises, prone flies, and sit-ups. So again, lots of fundamental movements. Right, let's get the squats out of the way. Then you'll understand exactly what we're doing then. This might be took back to yesterday. And then we've done it back to back this way, usually, but yesterday's workout comes at the end of the week, so it's a first. Right, here we go. Right, come on then.
Wanna spend my life with you. Nobody knew you're mine.
Right, have a little breather. We're moving on then to pressure drag. Another fundamental and arguably probably done wrong more than any other exercise. Usually down to this. People in this T shape with disengaged lats, scapula winging, doing this movement, okay? If it means leaving your ego at the door and resetting with good foundations, it's always better to do a knee and press up properly, okay, and then rebuild from there. Reset the neural wiring. So what I mean by that is you've got to get this. Elbows, pull them that way, like you're doing a lat pull down in the gym, yeah? Pull, Hands down there. Okay? So you're making an arrowhead shape. You see the difference. You need your lats engaged. Okay? So to disengage, you lose so much strength in the body. So that's what we're going for. If that means go to the knees, go to the knees. So you're going to do 15 seconds, isometric, isotonic, and then 15 seconds isometric. You're holding points, you've got two choices. Both are difficult, one is ridiculously tough. The ridiculously tough one is nose to the floor, pull the elbows down, hold there. Okay? Or maybe on knees. If not, hold at the top. Still hard. If you do hold at the top, watch carefully, you don't want to like this. Again. Okay? Do that. Now imagine you're turning your hand into the ground, thumb going that way. Okay? So at least you're getting that right movement. Okay? Right then. Oh, active rest. Split jacks. So, the chest resting, your body is, okay, ready? Not pretty this. Anything the 6 a.m. group this morning? Thank you very much. Right, here we go. Okay, now I know a lot of people heard me talk about lunges quite a lot. So yeah, train tracks. So we talked about, that's what to think about on lunges. Imagine you stood on some train tracks. Stay on those train tracks. Shoulder, hip, knee, feet out. Keep them all in line. Okay, so never in this space here. Stay out of that space. Stay from inside the track. Keep an eye on this Q angle. From your hip. Quad angle, okay? So there. Move. Okay? On the hold. There. Just off the floor. You can see that. Okay? Ideal position would be there. You're a bit higher, okay. Fair enough, particularly on the latter rounds. Things to think about. Yeah, it's just that angle really. Most people will be a bit dominant on the inside, so this will happen. Try to fight against that and keep that angle open, keep your hips open, keep strong. Use the mirror if you need to. At home, just keep on that. Okay, your active rest. We're going to do a walking plank, so again your legs are resting, but your body isn't. So you're just going to be coming up, saying that from that last one, you'll probably still feel it. So from a low plank up to a high plank, nice and steady. Just keep it moving throughout the minute. Okay, right, lunges then. Right, side one, side two. Okay. Right, ready? Here we go then, lunges.
Oh, baby, so straight. I'm on my way, face up to my head. I won't say goodbye. Oh, baby, so straight. I'm on my way, face up to my head. I won't say goodbye.
Thank you.
shoulders. Okay, right, well, I wouldn't call lateral raise a fundamental. I would definitely reserve squat, hinge, overhead press, but this just works really, really well, as you're about to find out. So, it is a movement you see a lot though, and it does get that big part of the delts, or at least it does if you do it properly, which is what we want today. From the side, okay, let me show you. So we don't want a power lateral raise. When you get really heavy, you see any lag between the ages of 16 and 30 if you do that. Okay, we don't want that. Much lighter, much stricter, from the hip, no dead range. Okay, you might as well do a kettlebell swing if you're going to be doing that. And we do plenty there. So we're going to be doing this. Strict, 15 seconds. From the hips, stop there, constant tension. And then hold, arms length, palms down, and then move again. Okay? Now, if you're lost, if you get really, really tired, fair enough. Come into a bit of a power lateral raise movement and get that dead range, get the momentum. Always try and keep it as strict as you can. Okay, you put them down, and then we've got standing bunny, just like you're skipping. Okay, just little side-to-side movements. Soft. Again, your body's working, your delts are rested. Okay, right. Get ready. Just be aware of the weight you're using because once you're in. You might want to swap on the second round. It's one of them. You don't need as much as you think you do. Trust me. Okay, right, so. Let's get it done. Ready? Okay, 1, put it wrist. 2, 1. Okay, let's go.
I've been
Only this, you're going to hold the hinge the whole time. Okay, now people complain about a hinge, people feel it in their lower back. That's because, well, usually probably because your hamstrings aren't loose enough to allow your hips to get back far enough. Because it's getting their hips back that counts in this. So if I hinge just like that, like almost RDL style, it is going to be a lot of stress on the lower back. Okay, however, you'll make that hand sandwich, yeah, so get your hands there, okay, knees, press them out and soften them, hips go back until you parallel, of course, I can feel my belly and my quads, so I can't really move my hands, they're really squished in there. Then you know you're getting perfect hip position, okay, so you can get that great. A little bit further up, okay. But always try to work towards that parallel to the floor position, hips back. See hips are there, knees are there. See the difference? As opposed to there, where there's not a lot. The less that angle is, the more stress on your lower back. Okay, so from that hinge position though, we're going to do a prone fly back. Okay, so we're going to go move, hold. Now that hold becomes very, very difficult. I would probably find it towards the end I'm a bit like that. It doesn't matter. Those muscles are still working. Just squeeze the shoulder blades as hard as you can. Worst comes to worst, you can drop the leg down. Just use your hands and it will still work. With just one weight in your arms, okay? Right, let's get into it. Oh, active press. Let's just call it active burpees. Okay? No rest, so technically your back is resting because there's no real posterior action on burpee. So it is an active rest in this context. Right, okay, you ready then? Throw fly. Right, let's do it now. Ready, rise. 3, 2, 1.
I still feel you.
soles of your feet down, hands at temple. They won't be doing that. They'll be doing something like this. Okay, which is fine. You will get a brutal ab response from 200 reps of that. 100%. Okay, they're probably even tucking their feet under some and anchoring their feet, yeah? It's okay to do them that way, as long as you know you're cheating. As long as you're not conning yourself into thinking you've got the abs of a god. Because you haven't got to go until you can do 200 like that. Straight. So, have a go straight. By all means, go back. Arm, yeah, the legs at length. Throwing your arms up. It's okay to do it like that. But always, eventually, set yourself some targets. You know, say, right, from now on, I'm going to really try and keep my feet flat. I'll still throw my arms up, but I'll try and take my hip flexors out a bit and get my heels in. Or equally, leave your legs out and say, right, I'm going to try and keep my hands glued to my head as long as I can. Just try and make little steps so that eventually you are capable of these really tight, strict sit-ups, okay? Even if only for a few. So 15 seconds of those, and then you're going to hold in the pose. You sort of halfway up position, and then back you go, move. And then for our active rest, we do some plyo squats. Pace them out, a minute of them is tough. Okay, you don't have to do plyo, you don't want to either, just regular bodyweight squats. Just giving your abs a break to some extent. Just a nice little jump into the next one, pace them out. This is it, there's no finishes today. This leads us right to the end, okay? So, sit-ups then. Isotonic isometric. And then plyo squats. Right, let's do it. system, the metabolic lift, post-exercise oxygen consumption, massive. You work the muscles that hard with next to no kit. So well done. We're back in 1 second with total mobility. If not, we're back tomorrow with the Soul Taker. See you for one and or both. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing.